1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
Our game today brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. I guess it's the coach's show. I've done 2 games in a row. You'll have to forgive. But TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. Coach Will Kriesky joining us this morning. Talk Riverdale football. These 2-week ball games, man, I don't know. They're rough on me. I'm not a young man like you, but
no, I'm feeling it too. It's been rough. I'm glad the weather's cooled off some.
Yeah,
I had a little spell up in July with the heat. I wasn't taking care of my body, and I preached to the kids, and I feel it at the age too.
You know, we've had really for the start of football season, really 2 perfect Friday nights.
We have. It's been really nice, really good weather, great weather for the fans, and for the kids. I think we only had 1 cramp last night in the game, 1 cramp, and from both teams.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty impressive. But again, that's due to the weather being nice and cool.
That situation, I think people relate cramps to heat. It's not necessarily heat. That's part of it, but it's exhaustion and hydration. All those things go into that.
Yeah, it's all the combinations throughout the week. What you eat, how you take care of your body, what you're drinking, what you're putting in your body, and we preach that to the kids. It's pretty neat. I had a teacher at school stop me this week because one of our football players was taking her nutrition class, and she was like, "Coach, he's telling me that all y'all do is talk about how they eat and what they need to be putting in your bodies. Can you please start encouraging your kids to start taking my class?" And I will support that. I will support that and make sure I re-emphasize that. And I thought that was awesome because they do need to hear that from somebody else besides all the coaches at Riverdale. And, it's just another support you have at Riverdale. And that's pretty, all these colleges got nutritionists and all that. Well, that's just an outlet we can use, kind of like the colleges, but by them having classes and learning, the proper things they need to be putting in their bodies.
Well, that's certainly at least a guest appearance at a practice or, a team meeting or something sometime for sure. Well, that's great. Home night, again, festivities. Game night at Riverdale is pretty special, isn't it?
No, it is. It's one of the best. Coach Messer and I have been talking this morning about it. Just how special it is. The place at Riverdale, and just the traditions that it's had for years in and years out. I think it's unbelievable. We walk on the field and you got families, you got Riverdale staff standing around supporting, you got the kids standing out as we come through the walkthrough. Just the traditions that they've had for years, and it's there, and just the enthusiasm and the excitement. It's just unbelievable, and it creates a great atmosphere for these kids. And that's what Coach Messer, he just talks about how he just loves seeing it. And loves that it's still been there. They've been there, him and Coach Armand and Phil. They've been there since the early 2000s. And he said, for them to still be able to see that 20-something years later, it's unbelievable.
Well, I can go back further than that. When you played at MTSU and fine playing facility and all of that there. But having something that's your own, something that your kids can take pride in, something that the fans can take pride in, something that, has the name of former people who are the foundation of Riverdale football. That's special.
It is. It's real special, and it's an honor to be their coach. It's an honor to coach there and be a part of it. Now we have the flashing lights, the jumbotron, the turf, and I tell you what, if I didn't have David Limbaugh, I would be be in big trouble. He has worked countless hours. Countless hours, making sure that jumbotron is top notch and everything's working. He was there. I think I left last night before he did because he was still in the press box working on stuff.
Wow.
That's the pride he has for the school. The school, he doesn't get paid. I give him Diet Coke.
I know, that's what he gets paid in, yeah.
Diet Coke, and he works countless hours, and it's people like that we all don't see, the outside people don't see, that really helps our program grow and helps our program. He's invested in our program, and he's been invested in our program since I've been at Riverdale, since 2009. And he wants to create that atmosphere for the fans, for the players, for the students, and he has so much pride in the school. And man, it just gives me chill talking about it. When you have people like that that's involved, that's been around so long, it just it's awesome.
We could talk about David forever, but all the days that his son played at Riverdale, and then that became a passion to help volunteer and make things work, and then that became a passion for him to go to school and take classes while working a job to be a teacher at Riverdale. And it's just it's really storybook worthy.
No, it is. It is. You don't get many people like that.
No.
And for him to be the staple of Riverdale and what he does, it's not just football. It's basketball. It's baseball. It's anything. He will stop what he's doing to help Riverdale athletics, and that's just having people like that in your school and your programs is just unbelievable, and it helps tremendously.
Takes so much pressure off. There is so much pressure already on you as the head coach, coaching staff, everything that has to be done. I mean, this is like a small business.
It is. You are running a small business. By the time we have 162 players right now in our program, 20 coaches, and we have a lot going on, and
but your small business deals with teenagers.
You're exactly right. Teenagers. We had one of them upset this week at practice because the girlfriend broke up with him, and I was losing my mind. Like, why are you worried about? We got a game. Like, what are you talking about? You're upset over a girl. But sometimes I forget what it's like being 15, 16, 17-year-old. But again, it's part of it, part of the process, and you got to find ways to motivate them and get them better.
Well, last week's result will probably served as some motivation this week. Kind of talk about that and the week you had in preparation, playing another D2 team.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. Go back and watch the Knox Catholic and just the self-inflicted wounds we had. It was very frustrating, and the kids, we preached the self-inflicted wounds that we had against Knox Catholic, and last night we had 0 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and we are an aggressive football team. We're not always the nicest, but that's something I'm proud of. I don't know the last time that we had a game where we didn't have one unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in it, and that's due to the stress that the coaches put on them this week in practice. Coach Haley does a good job of punishing those kids after practice for doing selfish actions, and those kids bought into it. None of the kids resisted it. They understood why they were running and doing their punishment, and it helped. Last night, the kids came to the sideline and celebrated. The kids came to the sideline and had fun, and it wasn't anything in between the white lines to get them a penalty. And I preached that at halftime. I said, guys, we're up 28-0 because we have one penalty right now. One penalty. Last week, the biggest thing that I preached all week was we went into the fourth quarter with 6 penalties. We finished the game with 12.
Well, that's 6.5 for you.
Yeah. So when you get 6 penalties in the fourth quarter against a really good Knox Catholic team who destroyed Anderson County this week, that and Anderson County's a really good football program. So that shows that you cannot have those 6 penalties in the fourth quarter against a highly touted athletic team like Knox Catholic.
We're talking with Will Kriesky this morning, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. There are several programs, and yours included, that have a bit of a youth movement going on, and we're seeing some, underclassmen really step up. You've got some of that going yourself.
We do. We're young. We're young in some spots, but again, we're young but talented in some spots.
They came up big last night.
Yeah, and Jacob Vaughn can be special. He's young. He can be special, and he's had a tough summer and off season because his running back coach has been really, really hard on him and stayed on him because we needed him to mature. We needed him to grow up fast, and he did. He made some good runs. He's made some good runs the last 2 weeks. He's picked up things faster than I thought he would. I never thought that he would be this game ready in week 2. I thought it was going to be by week 5 or 6. And some of the things he's done and the maturity he's taken in the leadership role he's done, and we've moved a receiver to running back to create more depth, and he's coached that receiver. He's been there. He's been a leader for that receiver. They come and meet with me. Both of them come meet with me every morning before school at 7:45, and we watch film and go over practice film. We go over the game plan for the week, and we talk. And both of them are involved and ask questions. And Jacob's really been that leader to help Chris get where he needs to be. And Chris was fortunate enough to get a lot of reps in the second half because we need him down the road. And Chris was able to rip off a 30-yard touchdown run.
Jacob had, an 80-yard TD run last night, around 100 yards or so. Talk about Luke Tritch as well. he was the recipient of a lot of finally passed balls out there from Gavin.
Yeah, Luke is a kid that just come in and work hard. He doesn't say a whole lot. He's a quiet kid, and I remember when he came into the program, he said, "Coach, I'm going to be starting on Friday nights," and I laughed. I'm going to be honest. I laughed. I said, "Luke, I hope you prove me wrong, but we don't have freshmen that play here." And I said, "It's just a tradition. It's just the program, and that's just who we are and what we build. Like, it's hard for freshmen to play." He said, "I'm going to prove you wrong." And I said, "Luke, I hope you do, but you're not going to play on Friday nights." I said, "You may get 5 or 6 plays, but that'll be it." Sure enough, about 2-3 weeks into practice, as he's practicing, I hit Coach Barnes. I said, "Yes, he's a starter. He's a starter." He proved me wrong. I said, "Let's get him ready." And he keeps showing up. Does he make use of mistakes? Yes. He's still a freshman.
Sure.
But he still makes plays. He made an unbelievable catch last night. I told Coach Barnes it was 28. We were running our 2-minute drill. And I said, "Coach, we got 2 timeouts." I said, "Let's take a shot, and then after the shot, we'll go from there." Well, Gavin threw it, and Luke made a catch over one of the best catches I've seen while I've been head coach.
Well, last night he averaged 28 yards per catch.
Yeah, as a freshman.
As a freshman,
so,
yeah.
that's good. But again, it's just his work. He worked hard all off season. He's just a good kid. He studies. He sits in Coach Pelchat's right side and asks 100 questions. He wants to make sure that he knows what he's doing. And so, we got to keep getting him prepared and make sure he's ready each week and each out. Like next week's going to be tough. We got Blackman. I mean, he's got to get ready for a big region game. But I think the Knox Catholic game helped him understand and see what he needs to do, so he's going to be ready for the Blackman game.
Well, let's talk about the next thing up, and it's Blackman. It's the first region game. It happens to be, I talk about rivalries. Everybody's a rival in this county, and now we're all in the same region. So, but it is a huge game to start off the region slate for you guys at home.
Yeah, it's real huge. I hate to play them this early, but I mean, it is what it is, and we got to go and we got to get ready. And our guys got to be focused. Our defense has got to be ready. I thought our defense played outstanding last night. Gave up 6 first downs. That's pretty impressive. Aiden Emmons is leading that defense and doing a great job, and he's making plays all over the field. Hudson Fuqua is flying around on defense. I was watching it last night. Man, those guys are flying around, and I got to keep that. Coach Rail's dialing it up, man. He just listening to him on the headset last night. He did a great job, and I'm extremely proud of those guys and how they practice them and prepare them each way. I mean, every week you would think that defense gets beat by 38. You think that defense, the way he gets after them in practice, you would think the defense every week gives up 45 points. And the kids are bought in, and that's why they're running around. Coach Haley and Coach Sarah has done a great job with this. We've bought into this new speed program, what we've done, and I think it's helped us tremendously the last 2 years. So I can't thank those 2 guys enough for what they've done. And we bought Titan Vest, and we had guys hitting 21 miles an hour last night in a game, 21 miles an hour. And I don't want to say too much data because Coach Haley's my data guy and figures that all out, but 21. We had Jacob Vaughn hit 21.2 on his touchdown run. I know Bird last night had I guess on a defensive play had a play for like where he hit 22 miles an hour.
That's wild.
So it's awesome. But again, all those guys are flying around. We're getting better. We got Blackman, and Blackman's going to be a battle. I think next Friday night it's 2 evenly matched teams. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter game, and it's going to be physical, and I hope everybody can come out healthy.
I guarantee you that we'll look back at this game in Week 11 and say, well, because of this result, this has happened.
Exactly.
I mean, I really think there's that much importance on this game.
Yeah, that's what I think it is too. I think it's a very important game, and it's we don't realize it now, but like you said, in Week 11 we'll be like, man, that game meant a lot.
Well, we will be there. Looking forward to coming out, and the Riverdale Blackman games have been special for a long time. It's on schedules as the backyard brawl most of the time. It doesn't even have teams there, so we know what it means, and it's going to be a fun time, fun atmosphere. I hope folks will get out, and if you can't, you can join us. But this is one you don't want to miss, Coach.
No, I don't. I hope Blackman brings a lot of people. I hope Riverdale brings a lot of people. I hope it's standing room only, because that's what these kids need. Both schools, these kids. I mean, it's high school, man. There's no better place to watch a high school game. I had some people I graduated with from Henry County. Their kids play at Father Ryan, and they waited for me after the game and gave me big hugs and said, "Coach, man, this is amazing. I never thought there would be anything that could compare to Henry County football, but this place is top notch, and it compares to a Friday night in Henry County. And when those two said that to me, that meant a lot to me.
Well, you know, you get the mark.
Yeah, that's a special place. And when they said that, man, it made me feel proud and grateful for the administration that we have to help support and do what we have on Friday nights to make it enjoyable and make that experience, wonderful for these kids, these parents, and these families.
We'll appreciate it very much. Will Kriesky joining us this morning, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property online at parksauction.com.